Today I finished King of Wrath by Anna Huang, so let's talk about it. So this trope is an arranged marriage trope, and I honestly didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did because I've never read an arranged marriage trope, but if I think about it, it's more kind of also an enemies to lovers trope, which is my favorite trope ever. So a little bit of background on the book. If you haven't read it yet, I'm so sorry for the spoilers. So there's the female main character, Vivian Lau, and she comes from a very wealthy family. Not very wealthy, but like newcomer wealthy, so they still have money, but not enough to be considered like a billionaire. But then there's her fiance, Dante Russo, who is a billionaire. And so the whole point of how they got together is that her father, Francis Lau, has blackmail on Dante Russo's brother. Supposedly he was in love with a famous person's niece, and he couldn't be with her, so they had blackmailed Dante Russo and saying like, hey, if you don't get your brother, I'm going to send this out to this person and he's going to get killed. So Dante Russo agrees to the arranged marriage only because for his brother's sake. And in the very beginning, they're all lovey-dovey, but that's only because they have to be, otherwise they like are at each other's throats, they like hate each other, they're like sleeping in separate rooms in Dante Russo's apartment. But then eventually they start to fall in love, and I think that was when the turning point of the book like really set in for me, and that's when I really was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a really good book. They are also very different people. So Dante is more like on the, I want to say introverted side, because he doesn't really have friends. He's not very like social, and Vivian is the complete opposite because she's an event planner, and Dante Russo simply works as a CEO for his company. Obviously, with these differences, it comes with a lot of problems. You have to like figure out how to live with each other without trying to kill each other. And you also have to stay, well, you don't have to stay in this arranged marriage, but Vivian is like very like family centered. She values her family's validation. She wants to make her family proud, and she always feels like she's never achieved that in her life. So, and her older sister also got married off to a person that was in El Deloria. I think I butchered that so bad. So they eventually start to fall in love, and I really loved the fact that they fell in love because like opposites attract. Hello. But also Dante developed like a really, really soft spot for Vivian, and I think that was like what melted my heart the most. My favorite date that they went on, because they didn't actually go on any dates until like, I want to say, okay, so I couldn't find the chapter, but he rents out a planetarium and puts on a show for her simply because she mentioned liking the stars and constellations one time. She would point at certain constellations while they were walking in the park and be like, this is this, and he would be like, oh, okay, paying no mind, being normal Dante Russo, but he rents a planetarium. I have never in my life read such a romantic scene. Actually, that's a lie. But if a man is willing to buy me a planetarium, I will stay in this arranged marriage. I will. So can we talk about the fact that he calls her Mia Cara? Like, I forgive me, I'm not Italian, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's just such a sweet and endearing nickname. But before it was like it's like a typical like, enemies to lovers, like don't call me that. But the way that he says it is so endearing and so sweet, and I was just like, oh my god, like I need this in my life. Things are going good, they're going great, they're falling in love actually, and neither of them actually thought that they would fall in love with each other because they like hated each other from the start. But towards the end they started falling in love, and that's when like the real trouble starts to strike. I know I keep going back and forth, but let's talk about like the fact that they were up at 2 a.m. both at the same time trying weird cravings. Like, can we just talk about how sweet that is? Like, she literally was like, oh, I used to try I think it was pickles with my ice cream and peanut butter or something like that with my sister when we were younger. And he's like, oh, I used to do that with my brother. Mind you, him and his brother are not close anymore. It was only Vivian and her sister that were close. So I thought that was super sweet and such a sweet, like, intimate moment. So back to the problems. So they have to figure out. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was recording. Okay. So back to the problem. Oh my gosh, just be cool. Back to hold on. Back to the issues that started. So while Christian is hacking into these photocopies and trying to destroy evidence, Francis was like, you wouldn't want my daughter to find out what you're doing. You wouldn't want my daughter that's not what's happening. And she finds out in the worst possible way. My heart was literally breaking when she found out, because okay, so she went to, so by this point they're having like a really good relationship. It was like a few months that passed and they're like doing really good, you know, communicating, all the typical not red flags, oh my gosh, green flags in a relationship, communication, you know, things like that, valuing others' opinions. But anyways, so she's trying to surprise Dante with his favorite restaurant for lunch, and they have lunch together every day since that whole discussion of like what we need to do to make this work, because neither of us are gonna leave this relationship. We can't. I won't read the entire scene, but it's basically like what goes through her head when she hears everything that he had said. I never willingly chose her. You blackmailed me into it. I was forced into this engagement. Can we talk about how my heart would break if I heard my fiance that I was falling for say that to me, to my father? Why are you discussing that with my father? Well, okay, so then she walks away and she's like, obviously butthurt. I'd be butthurt too, but that's also because I'm just sensitive. So then she goes home and she starts packing because obviously she's not going to stay there. Hello, I wouldn't want to either. And then he comes in the house. Oh, actually, no, I lied. So he, his assistant comes in after Francis leaves, after he forces his mini stroke. Okay, so when she leaves the the company. Oh my god. She leaves the company and the assistant comes in, hey, your wife left this, or your fiance left lunch for you. I don't know if you want to go catch her. And he's like, oh, I really messed up, because he realizes, hey, she heard everything. So then he goes to his apartment after canceling all his meetings for the day, and he comes home to find her packing. And then he has the audacity to ask her what she's doing. What does it look like she's doing? She literally has suitcases on the floor, and she literally is telling you that she's going to leave. The audacity after she's confronting him and she's like, oh, why'd you do this, like why? And he's like, it's strictly business, bro. So it was just business when we were, no. But in the end he does make up for it by literally groveling on his feet for her to go on a date with him. Like, he wants to restart this whole relationship, and he literally pretends that he doesn't know her in a coffee shop. He's like, oh, nice to meet you, what's your name? And she's like, Vivian? She's like, did you get some amnesia? And he's like, no, I just want to start over. And so then it literally takes him, I think, a week, maybe 2, for her to actually agree on this date. And then, you know, they go on a date. The first date is a picnic, and honestly, he made up for it. They end up happy, and you know, I was happy because they were happy after everything that they literally went through. Like, why did it take the whole book? Literally, towards the end of the book is when they got together. Like, why? Who does it? But anyways, I really, really like this book, and I can't wait to start the second book, but I am going to take a break. I'm taking a break because I'm starting the last book of the Lights Out trilogy, and I am so excited for this book. I cannot wait to read it. But yeah, thanks guys.